Man, I could just play that neck pickup all day long, all day, day. So what's up, guys? Finally back on here. It's been almost 2 weeks since a video. I had another one shot, and I decided to can it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go in and shoot another one. Talking about too many guitars today, and the reason for the delay in videos is just my son is doing distance learning this week because of his school. So a little bit of a different schedule, to say the least. But I thought it would be kind of a cool video just to talk about too many guitars. And let me kind of preface this by saying that I think that you can have as many guitars as you want. This is simply my outlook and how it's changed over the years. So if you're a person who has 200 guitars, more power to you. If it's not hurting anyone, then have 1,000 guitars. I feel like there's nothing wrong with it. This is just my opinion on it. And I've found over the years, I went through phases where I just wanted guitars. I wanted new guitars all the time. And I would have 3 or 4 of the exact same thing. And I would kind of convince myself that they were all very different. And then I'm not sure what happened, but there was like this switch that clicked one day, and I really wanted, I guess, like more unique guitars that had like a distinct voice. Whenever I heard them, I'm like, oh, that's something I don't have. Like if it already sounds like a Les Paul, then well, I already have a Les Paul. And that's why, like, whenever I got my white Strat, I've never looked at other Strats. Never wanted them. The only other one I ever wanted, which to me ties into the unique factor, is the Yngwie Strat. With the scalped frets, it just seems cool. The feel would be so different that I think it would have to also sound different because it would make you play differently. But that's kind of been the grading scale that I go on things. That's why, like, if you saw last year, maybe you've seen, some of you probably don't even know that I sold them. I sold 3 or 4 guitars throughout the year. I sold the Friedman Vintage S, an amazing Strat, style guitar. But again, the white Strat is just king of the castle over here. So I'm like, I never play it because I never choose it over my white Strat. So I decided to sell it. I sold the blue Telly that I had because I'm like, well, anytime I go for a Telly, I want the bridge pickup, and I'm always going to go with my Esquire. So I sold that one. What other ones did I sell? I sold others too, and I can't even think what they were. I know I sold 3 or 4 of them because the plan was to get one of these. And as soon as I had all the stuff sold, you couldn't find them. You could not find the Pelham Blue with the correct headstock Firebird anywhere. They just vanished. They're like, oh, he wants it, we're gone. So finally got one of these, and it lives up to what I hoped it would. When I say unique, I mean unique as in either the feel, like the actual feel and vibe. I always say the word vibe all the time, but it's so important to me nowadays that a guitar has a unique feel and vibe to it. I don't want 10, KM Les Pauls. Even though it'd be cool to own them, I already have one, so I already have that kind of feel and vibe. So I don't really want a bunch of those. I have that one. That thing does what it's supposed to. Just like the KM to my Gold Top, the necks are completely different. The weight's different, and obviously one has P90s, one has humbuckers. Different. I'm like, okay, that falls into the category where I'm like, all right, I have 2 Les Pauls. These are 2 very different guitars, and I sat a couple guitars out because a lot of people, talk about the Firebird and Jazzmaster, how they're related. But the Jazzmaster is another one that I don't think I own a guitar that sounds like it. You guys will always hear me rave about this thing since I got it. Such a cool and inspiring guitar. I hope we can get not on clarity, but again, unique and different vibe to it. And I think that one definitely, will always have a place here, or some kind of Jazzmaster. I love it, but it has to have like the tremolo. I don't really want like a hardtail Jazzmaster or something. The trim is what makes that one so special to me because it's so different. If you've never used the Jazzmaster tremolo system, it is completely different from a Strat. Like the feel and response, you have to play it differently. That's the kind of stuff that gets me excited about playing it, is this new approach. And that's kind of like with this thing. I love the way these pickup sounds. I don't know if these are the actual like true to form Firebird pickups. Some people were saying that they're not. And I might end up changing them at some point, but I will say that I do like them. They are pretty hot. Not like super hot or anything, but they have a cool tone to them. I really dug Get your Jimmy Page on with that one. So that's kind of been like my grading scale on guitars now, is they really have to be unique. And unique in either the tonal department or the vibe department. Like I would like to get an Explorer now after loving the Firebird so much, because I think one of the things is that I just posted the video about the Firebird, but I actually got this back in October. So I've had it for a while now. So the initial like honeymoon phase has ended. And I'm like, oh, that is just a cool vibe. I want that vibe. And I feel like whenever a guitar enters that kind of like, it starts taking up that mental space in your tonal portfolio, in your braino, is, okay, it's special. It has done something that is making you refer to it. Something I always say is when a name, like a person's name, or something like that becomes an adjective, geez, I can't talk. That's when you know it's truly unique and special. Like whenever that sounds very Jimmy Pagey, that sounds very Eric Clapton-y, that sounds very EVH, sounds very whoever. Throw any of those people who have an adjective, like you're using their name to describe something. I feel the same thing goes for tones. Oh, that's such a stratty tone. Think about that. Like all these different guitars that are out there, we still refer to the same like 4 or 5 styles of guitars. It's 335, Les Paul, Tele, Strat. Jazzmaster sounds different, a little bit funky in there. I feel like Firebird sounds different. Maybe not as drastically of a different. It has its own thing, not as drastically different as like Strat to Les Paul. But I will say like this neck pickup is really nice. Whoa. I play all the wrong notes today, apparently. Anyways, so or like the Friedman Teleover, like that's a guitar I'll keep forever. It's tuned in some weird open tuning right now, so I won't play it. But I think it sounds pretty dang unique. And what's interesting is the bridge pickup is the same one that's in my gold top, and they sound completely different. So I don't know if this the pickup, maybe one was wound more or something, I'm not real sure. But I love this. Is such a meaty and aggressive. It sounds bigger than the Les Paul, which I think is really like odd. You would think that Les Paul would have this big thing, but they have these different like mid characteristics, and that's where I think a Les Paul is so special. It's the mids obviously, and kind of what makes Strat special is the lack of the mids. So it's all those different things. The Dano, obviously, I think that has a super unique sound. So you can justify as many guitars as you want. You can unique it up. But I know for me, you'll certainly see less of a getting guitars. I know that I got a lot of guitars last year, and I think it confuses people because I actually did not get any new guitars last year for myself. None of the guitars that I got that you saw videos on were ever for me. I gave them all away, or they are involved in some other giveaways that haven't been promoted and won't be promoted. There's some secret giveaways sometimes. But this one was the only guitar that I bought last year, and I think that you'll see a lot less new guitars that I'm buying for myself, just because I'm trying to get rid of guitars, and I'm also just trying to find really unique ones. I want to get a Les Paul Jr. and I want to get an Explorer, and those are probably the two that I'm like gonna really hone in on. And if I need to sell some stuff, I will, and we'll really kind of roll with it from there. So other than that, guys, there you go. Too many guitars. Are you like me? Do you have too many guitars? It's a problem to be thankful for, that's for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, just felt like hanging out and chatting about what was on my mind, on my mind brain. And I'll see you all later, guys. I'm gonna play some more guitar. Then I gotta go get some dog food. Living the life. All right, bye, guys.